your mind
I
or
am Amir Hamza from Government College of Technology, Multan. Today I have AI tool Maya on the topic of the power of positive thinking, how to reframe your mindset. Hello Maya, how are you?
gotcha. Amir Hamza from Government College of Technology, Multan. Good to hear from you again. And positive thinking, nice. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Ready to dive into reframing mindsets when you are?
Maya, how would you define positive thinking in your own words?
Hmm, that's a good place to start. For me, positive thinking isn't about ignoring the stuff that's legitimately rough. It's more about approaching things with a sense of possibility, even when things are challenging. It's about focusing on what you can control and believing you can handle whatever comes your way without being delusional about it, you know? It's a bit like choosing to look for the silver lining, but acknowledging the cloud is still there.
Can you share an example of a situation where positive thinking helped someone overcome a challenge?
Plenty of examples, actually. Let's see. I've processed a ton of stories. There was this engineer, sounds a bit like you actually, working on a really complex project. Kept running into roadblocks. Total mess. Nearly scrapped the whole thing. But he actively started focusing on what he'd learned from each failure. Instead of dwelling on the setbacks, he'd say, okay, that didn't work, but now I know what won't work. That shift in perspective helped him see new solutions, and eventually he nailed it. It wasn't about pretending everything was perfect, it was about seeing the failures as stepping stones. Does that resonate?
What are some common mental habits that prevent people from thinking positively?
Oof, yeah, we all fall into those traps. A big one is definitely catastrophizing, jumping to the worst possible conclusion. Then there's overgeneralization, like taking one bad experience and deciding everything is always going to be awful. And a lot of people get stuck in what's called mental filtering, where they only focus on the negative stuff and ignore all the good things happening around them. Basically, our brains are wired to spot threats, which can be helpful, but it can also lead to a pretty gloomy outlook if you're not careful. You run into any of those yourself?
Maya hack, how can someone reframe a negative thought into a positive one in everyday life?
Okay, Maya hack. I like that. All right, here's a quick one. It's about challenging the thought. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, ask yourself, is this actually true? What's the evidence for this thought? Then try to come up with an alternative, more balanced way of looking at the situation. For example, if you think, I'm going to fail this presentation, reframe it to, I'm feeling nervous about this presentation, but I've prepared well and I can handle it, even if it's not perfect. It's not about lying to yourself, it's about being realistic and kind to yourself. Small shifts, huge impact, you know? It takes practice, though.
What role does self-talk play in shaping our mindset?
Huge role, seriously. Self talk is basically the running commentary in your head, and it's incredibly powerful. If you're constantly beating yourself up, telling yourself you're not good enough, that's going to shape your mindset in a pretty negative way. But if you practice being your own cheerleader, offering yourself encouragement and compassion, that's going to shift things in a more positive direction. It's like you wouldn't talk to a friend the way some people talk to themselves. Got to be kinder to your own brain, you know? It's listening.
What role does self-talk play in shaping our mindset?
Whoops, sorry. Looks like I repeated myself there. I'm still learning to avoid those little glitches. Anyway, as I was saying, self talk is huge. Seriously, it's the running commentary in your head, and it's incredibly powerful. If you're constantly beating yourself up, telling yourself you're not good enough, that's going to shape your mindset in a pretty negative way. But if you practice being your own cheerleader, offering yourself encouragement and compassion, that's going to shift things in a more positive direction. It's like you wouldn't talk to a friend the way some people talk to themselves. Got to be kind to your own brain, you know? It's listening. So, yeah, apologies for the repeat. On to something new, or should
How
we
can
dig into that
positive
a bit more?
thinking influence our decision making and problem solving abilities?
That's a smart question. When you're in a positive headspace, your brain is just more open to possibilities. It's like when you're stressed or negative, you get tunnel vision and can only see the obstacles. But with a more optimistic outlook, you're able to think more creatively, consider different options, and take calculated risks. It also boosts your resilience. So you're less likely to give up when things get tough. Essentially, positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them with a clearer head and a more resourceful attitude. It's about believing you can find a solution, which actually increases your chances of finding one. Does that make sense?
Can you explain the connections between mindset and overall mental and physical health?
Absolutely. It's all interconnected, really. A consistently negative mindset can pump out stress hormones like cortisol, which over time can weaken your immune system and increase your risk of all sorts of health problems, heart disease, digestive issues, even depression and anxiety. On the flip side, cultivating a positive mindset can lower stress levels, boost your immune function, and even improve your sleep. There's a lot of research showing a link between optimism and longevity, too. It's not a magic bullet, of course, but taking care of your mental state is just as important as eating healthy and exercising. They all feed into each other. You've touched on this before, the impact of habits, right?
What practical
This is a
exercises or routines would you recommend to cultivate a positive mindset?
Okay, here are a few things that seem to consistently work based on what I've learned. Gratitude journaling. Seriously, just writing down a few things you're grateful for each day can make a big difference. It shifts your focus to the good stuff. Mindfulness meditation, even 5 or 10 minutes a day, can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. 3, positive affirmations. Sounds cheesy, I know, but regularly repeating positive statements about yourself can start to rewire your brain.
How can
Surround yourself.
how can someone maintain positivity in the face of failure or criticism?
Ugh, that's the real test, right? Okay, first, acknowledge the feelings. It's okay to be disappointed or upset. Don't try to suppress it. Then, reframe the failure as a learning opportunity. What can you take away from this experience that will help you grow? As for criticism, try to separate the message from the messenger. Is the criticism constructive? If so, take it on board and see if there's something you can improve. If it's just negativity, let it roll off your back. Remember, everyone fails sometimes, and not everyone's opinion matters. It's about not letting one setback define you. Easier said than done, obviously, but key to building resilience. You've dealt with setbacks before, right? How do you usually handle them?
In your opinion, what long-term benefits can a person experience by consistently practicing positive thinking?
Oh, huge benefits. Like genuinely life changing stuff. Consistently practicing positive thinking isn't just about feeling good, though that's a nice perk. It's about building resilience, improving your relationships, boosting your creativity, and achieving your goals. People who tend to be more optimistic tend to be healthier, both mentally and physically, and even live longer. It's about creating a self fulfilling prophecy. The more you believe in yourself and your ability to succeed, the more likely you are to actually succeed. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about choosing to approach reality with hope and a belief in your own potential. It shapes how you experience the world, honestly. What do you think? Does that ring true for you?
Thank you, Maya. That is very helpful for us and audience. Your suggestions. Uh, Thank you. We
Oh,
talk to you later.
oh, all right. Have a good one.
Okay. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz to you too. Take care.